Well, hello everybody. This is John, your humble oil painting host, welcoming you to another video. Yes, today is Monday. What the hell is today? Day before Election Day, the 4th of November. This is a Monday video because I had a show this weekend, so I wasn't able to do anything on Saturday or Sunday. So I'm glad you indulged me here. Adjust my light. Not sure how that got out of whack. So let's get right to it. We got our 16 by 20 canvas. I went back to the economy canvas from Blick. I was doing the Gessobord, which I love. Don't get me wrong. But for my videos, I'm just going to stick with the economy canvas. It's a really nice texture. And for any of you that are just starting out, you're much better to go with this than the Gessobord. And the main reason is the cost. The Gessobord is archival, it's beautiful, it's everything you ever wanted, but it's also a lot more money than this. This, if you buy it at Blick online, is $13.99 for 5 canvases, like $2.80 a piece, where the Gessobord's like $18 to $20 for one. So when you're just starting out, this is my favorite canvas for beginners. You know, it's a real nice canvas, and you know, you can give it to somebody as a present and it's not going to mess with them for a while. It'll probably stay good for 50, 60 years if it's taken care of. It's a nice surface, and it's a good one to paint on. So we're going to go with our normal 1.5" gesso brush. And by the way, I'm not affiliated with Blick at all, but I do love this economy canvas for what I'm doing. Okay, so our medium, need more medium, and our Viridian and Payne's gray. You've heard me say that a bunch of times. And we're going to do our horizon line, which you've also seen and heard me do a bunch of times. So, what are we going to do today? I have no idea. I was thinking about it during the day when I was getting my stuff situated for my show from this weekend, which was a nice show. It was at Minooka High School in Minooka, Illinois. Just a little high school. It's a local show. I do some of my plein air paintings and some of my YouTube video paintings and stuff I sell at the little high schools in the fall. And I go to my studio work. I go to the big juried shows during the summer. So I have, 2 different avenues for stuff. It's a lot of fun. I like it. Meet a lot of really nice people there. Okay, so I'm going to go like this. I'm not sure exactly how I'm going to do this yet, but I like the trees. I like trees, I like water, I like waterfalls. Love mountains, so there's a good chance I'm going to have a little of everything in here. So, I'm going to go with a little brown on this. Green. Payne's gray. I think I'm going to put a mountain right here. Do a flat top mountain. And I'll go like this a little bit. There we go. Okay, I'm going to leave that open. I'm not sure how I'm doing this yet. It may go down a little further than I want. As a matter of fact, I think it is. So, I'm going to go probably like this, right? Yeah, I think I'm going to go here. I know, Green Mountain won't be. I'm just sketching in. That's all I'm doing, sketching in. None of this means anything other than it's guiding me of where I'm going to be. That's all. And I'm putting foothill mountains over here. So these are background trees. There we go. There we go. Let's see what else I'm going to do here. I think I'll drop it here. This will be water. Yeah, that'll be more mountainous. There we go. There we go. Okay. Okay, I'm gonna need some background trees now. We're done. I started, got everything ready. Didn't lay out my paper towels. I made sure Raphael, our crazy parrot, was quiet, which basically is me begging him to be quiet because unless I stick him outside, I can't force him to keep his beak shut. And if I stuck him outside, my wife would not be happy. So I asked him to be a good boy and be quiet. At the moment it's working, but I don't want to jinx it too much with him. Okay, so I'm going to do, I'm not going to put any trees up there that's real tall, but I'm going to put some over here. I am going to put, I love doing trees like this. They're just fun. Okay, so now we'll take and we'll go like this. So these are going to be like, what is that? Vertical. And then these will be whatever. I could make these vertical too, and I probably will. I'm not sure yet. We'll see. We shall see. Okay. What do you say we put in the sky? Gonna go with cerulean. I didn't clean the brush. I just got the same green and brown and everything else on it. Just rub that right in. One of the things about skies, it's funny, when I started, I can remember too, because it wasn't, I mean, it's been a long time since I started painting, and other times it feels like it hasn't in the big picture, I guess. But I remember before, I used to always want to make that sky that perfect shade of blue, because that's what it was as a kid. It was always a blue sky, blue water, green trees, all that other stuff. And then as I got into painting more and more, it's like, I don't want to say I got bored with the blue sky, but I did. And then I found by accident blending different colors, even stuff you wouldn't even picture in a sky, like browns and Payne's gray and whatever you want to put. It started looking good. And I'm like, okay, I can deal with that. Like, this is going to be a grayish green sky, my friends. And I'm going to say, damn, I like this shit. I like this sky already. Look at it. I'm going to put some blue in here. I am. But just as of right now, there's no blue in it yet. Okay, I apologize. Cerulean blue. There's just a little bit of cerulean you saw. But it was on a dirty brush, so there's not much. So I'm going to put a little French ultramarine in here to blue it up a little bit. That's it, just a little bit. I'm not going to blue the hell out of it because I like this. I like the way this is looking. I like the way this is looking. One of the things that about these shows that I like is you get to meet people and talk to them, and they get to look at your stuff, and you know, you get right there critiques. Hey, I like this. Hey, what'd you do here? Hey, whatever the case may be. And you have conversations with people. It's a blast. If you ever get into to the point where you can show your work and stuff, I highly recommend it. It's a little nerve-wracking in the beginning until you get used to it. You know, because I always expected people are going to go up to me and look at my stuff and go, oh my God, is that ugly? What are you doing? And then I quickly outgrew that. My first few shows years ago, I was a little apprehensive, and then I figured out, you know, people aren't going to do that. Even if they don't like it, they're just going to walk by. And then other ones are interested by something they may or may not like, and they'll strike up a conversation, and other people love it. So, you know, it all depends. There's my blue. I promised you blue, and damn it, there's your blue. I'm going to put a little more damn it blue in, too. That should be a name of a color. Damn it blue. There we go. Damn it blue. I like that color. Damn it blue. Okay, wait. Nope. Thought there was a bristle trying to go AWOL. I was mistaken. Now I'm going to put the damn it blue, and I'm going to mix it in with whatever the hell that color is that I had on there. There we go. There's a fuzzy. I knew I'd find one somewhere. Let's go like that. There we go. I'll put a little bit more damn it blue in. so tired of the fuzzies sometimes. But that's part of painting. You just deal with it. Okay, let me step back. There we go. Damn it, blue worked. Since I use my Griffin Alkyds are made by Winsor Newton, I wonder if I sent a letter to Winsor Newton and said, hey, I got a great idea for a new color. How about damn it blue? Okay, I'm usually use a fan knife, but a fan brush to do my clouds like this, but I'm lazy. There's so much stuff going on. Busy, busy, busy. Happy though. Love doing art shows and painting and everything else. I'm gonna make these trees pretty big too, so don't worry about it. Okay, I'm gonna go like that. And this is just actually, I don't want to call it a pro tip, but a tip. When you got a canvas this size, and granted, 16 by 20 is actually considered a medium-sized canvas, although it's one of the larger that I do. With a canvas this size and a 1.5 inch brush, you can do a lot that you've seen when I do videos. You know, I don't use a ton of different brushes usually, and that's because you don't have to. Now, smaller paintings, obviously you're not going to use a brush this big, you know, doing a 6 by 8 or something. Put a little Payne's gray in here just to give it a little bit of mood. We just had Halloween a few days ago. So you can always have a little eerie mood to the sky. I mean, hell, it's already green and gray and whatever the hell else it is. If you have fun with painting, you will be successful. If you stress about the way everything looks and every stroke you take and every little mixed color and everything else, you're going to hate it and you're going to give it up. So my suggestion to you, and this is the most important thing I can tell you, and it's going to sound cheesy, and I swear on everything holy to me, I am telling you the absolute truth. If you really want to learn how to paint, make sure that you set yourself up to succeed. And the way to do that is to have fun. It's all in your head. Don't worry about what it looks like. Just worry about having fun. And by doing that, it'll eventually get better. It will look like shit to begin with. Trust me, you ought to see some of my old stuff. Some I just threw away because they were just so hideous. But it will get better if you persist. So that's the biggest thing. Have fun with it and keep doing it, and you'll get good. It's inevitable. It's the way we were created. Okay, just diffusing the color. Remember how we do this? Yeah, what render my mountain? That don't matter. That's where we're gonna have highlights anyway. So we'll go over that. And we're gonna get some of that out of there. Oh, I liking this sky. I'm a liking of this sky. Oh God. Sound like Chico from the Marx Brothers. Anybody out there watching my video that's under the age of 45 probably don't know who I'm talking about, but that's okay. That's okay. I forgive you. Alrighty. Here we go. Ooh, I'm going to stand back. I like that. Okay, we're good. We're good. I'm not even going to clean my brush. I'm just going to go right into my Viridian and a little bit of Payne's gray, and I'm going to go right back up. I'll put those things right back in. And I'm going to put them up to the clouds, around the clouds, in the clouds, wherever the hell I want to put them, because it's my canvas. I can do whatever the hell I want. There we go. There we go. I'm not going to put anything on the top like I told you. Leave that alone. There we go. There we go. Okay, so still not going to clean the brush. Tap till you can't tap no more. This is where the board is a little easier, the hardwood from Ampersand, the Gessobord, because there is no bounce. It's so rigid. But people have been painting on canvas for many, 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 many wonderful years. And they always found a way to do it. Some of the most beautiful, treasured, and oldest painting is known to human beings. Done on canvas. Okay. There we go. Let me step back. Yeah, I like that. Water's going to be down here somewhere. I don't know. At the moment, I don't care. At the moment, I don't care. Okay. I'll go with brown. Just going to brown the shit out of this. Now, one of the things that I wanted you to see here, even though it's green, it's really dark. When you're doing something like a mountain range, even background trees, if you're doing them, whatever, it doesn't really matter what color you use, as long as it's dark. And get used to mixing your paints, because when you mix your paint, you have a lot more control of what you're doing, because you're the one doing the mixture. I mean, it is that simple. But you want dark, so when you put the highlights on, you can see the highlights. You need dark to see light and vice versa. Okay. There. And I'm gonna make them all. I was gonna make the ones on the right a little more vertical, but I decided as I started doing this that that's not gonna be the case. But right now I gotta figure out how my water's gonna be. So I'm gonna go with some cerulean and French ultramarine. And just carve out a part here. Basically, I'm just getting my line here. There we go. It doesn't have to be perfectly straight, you know, by no stretch. It doesn't have to be. You're not talking about a horizon on an ocean where it should be pretty close to exact. You know, you're talking about what I'm guessing is a deep forest mountain stream, mountain river. I am going to have a waterfall, probably right here, maybe, I don't know, could be somewhere. I always put the waterfall with the big part of the mountain. Maybe I'll just put it in the smaller part, just to change it up a little bit. I haven't decided yet. Okay. Yeah, I think that'll work. Okay, so I'm going to take some Viridian and my brown, which my brown I use is burnt umber. I'm going to take my medium, so it'll go right where I want it to go. It'll spread better. Now, you normally don't see me using the medium this late in a painting, but I'm still, in my opinion, I'm in my sketching mode still, so that's why I'm doing it. There we go. Okay, so we've got our basic sketch and our blocking. We've got all the stuff necessary to execute this painting, my friends. Okay, so I think at this moment, I'm still not sure exactly where my water is going to be. I mean, my waterfall, I should say. So I'm going to start opaquing my water. That hopefully something kind of speaks to me and I understand where the hell I'm going to put it, because right now I'm not sure. But I want to get the opaque in because I want to get a distinction between the land and the water, where before I did this it was hard to see. I'm going to add more blue. And right now, it looks like I'm fiddling with it, and I guess I am. I'm just getting it the color I want. Okay? Every time I do water or mountain, whatever, I don't want to say I have a preconceived notion. I like to make it up as I go. But as I'm doing it, it's the color I want or it's not. And I just keep blending and mixing and everything else until I get the color I want. I think that'll work. I can adjust it later. Okay, so the next thing I want to do is make a little bit of land on this side. So I'm taking the same dirty brush and I'm basically pushing the mountains back. I don't know if you can see that on the... Yeah, you can. You can. You see how this is land now? The mountains came down to the water. Now this is land. Okay, it's a dark green, but it's still land. And we're going to brighten it up with our, our Cadmium Yellow Light Hue. We'll do that a little bit, but not right now. So that's going to be nice because what we're going to do is we're going to have our big ass pine trees in here. Some going up a little bit. I might not even put a lot of highlight down here, just at the tops, because I'll have, it'll be a little thick down there with the pine trees. So I am going to go into my Cad Yellow right now, and I want to get just, because they're high up, I want to get the tops of the trees in some areas. A nice green. And I'm just taking, just the corner. And you can hear it, but you can see the way I'm holding the brush. I'm not really putting a lot of pressure. And I don't want anything really bright here, okay? I just want a little bit of highlight on the tops because the way it's going to work is the sun may not get down to here, but it will graze the tops, especially when they're that high up. So you want a little bit of that. Be careful not to take away the darks. And then, let's see, it's the wrong color. There we go. And now I got a darker, more olive. And that's from adding Payne's Gray to the same mixture I had for the top. Because now they're going to be darker. That's one of the things you want to learn how to do, is just play off of each other with lights and darks. And the way it works is, you can do what I did. I took the same mixture that I had the brighter, I just added a little Payne's Gray. Now all of a sudden, I've got a lot of depth in that forest. Okay. I'm just going to kind of smoosh together a little bit so they don't look like they're completely separate. Let me stand back here. And that's one of the things to do too. Always stand back. Give yourself a nice little area to look. Okay, now I want to get this right at the ridge, and then I'll re-establish the ridge. There we go. Now I'll re-establish the ridge. There we go. There we go. Okay. So, the next thing I want to do, I'm going to start with the highlights. And I'm going to get that out of the way, because once I get the highlights in, it'll give me a real good indication of where I'm at in this painting and if it's even working or not. It's another thing that when you're starting out, you don't have to worry about it as much. As you improve and you gain experience, it's not something to worry about, it's something to keep in mind. As the painting is progressing, is it progressing correctly? If it's just something that's really not working whatsoever, when you're very new at it, just keep going and see what happens and how it turns out. And it's a good learning experience. Once you're at intermediate and up, if it's not working, you stop. If you can fix it, fix it. If not, you've seen me do it before. Take a palette knife, scrape it off, wipe it off, let it dry, get a new canvas, start over again. One of the beauties of oil paints is you can do that, where acrylics, you know, by the time you even think about that, it's already a lot of it is too dry to do that too. If you're not doing thick paint with acrylics, you can probably paint over it. But if you have thickness anywhere, impasto anywhere, then that's not going to be the case. Okay, so I am going to use my little knife. And I don't want to use just straight white because of where they're at. You know, if the light isn't going to be here for the trees, then it's most certainly not going to hit the, you know, ledges here or whatever. Up here, yes, but down here, no. So these will be a little lighter highlights than these. So I've got my burnt umber and white mixed together, and I'm going to use that. It'll still be lighter than this. There we go. Just kind of pick and choose where I'm going to put these highlights. Now, over here, probably not going to get much because you got the ledge. You can hear me scraping the canvas. I don't want it to be bunched up. Like I said, it's going to be a little more faint. So I'm blending it in. And a lot of these little ones down at the bottom, you're not going to see much because I'm going to have a lot of stuff over it. But you might be able to see through a little bit. Okay. Oh, that's not too bad at all. Okay. Now I'm going to take a flat brush, take some blue and white. Put in some shadows, a little more blue. Now that's too blue, but I'm going to keep working it in to blend it. And you notice I haven't loaded the brush again in a while. It's got enough on there to do the job. Okay, let me step back and see how that works. That will be good. Okay. Now I'm not going to clean that 1 inch. I'm going to leave that blue on there because I got hair to do yet. Now here, I'm trying to think of how I'm going to do this. Well, I got to start at the top. This one's going to be now I'm going to do and I'm just staring it. We're going to think light might hit it. This down here is going to be covered, so it doesn't matter what it looks like here to a degree. Wipe this off. Gotta hit it again. I'd love to tell you there's an exact science to doing what I'm doing, but I'm playing it by sight of what I like and what it looks like for me. You don't want too much. So you put in, okay, all the stuff at first. Now notice how much lighter that is than that. Here, that's just dark because of how high that's coming. Light's coming from top left to right. That's why these are. But over here, there's no way in hell. That's why I stopped it over there and I stopped it over here. So this is going to have some light on it, depending on where it's at. We're also going to have some pine trees up here, maybe halfway, over here, up into here. So there's a lot of this you're not going to see. You're going to see maybe 30% of this, maybe a little bit more. The rest you're not going to really have to worry about. Now I just want to get this. There we go. Just want to get the tops like that. Okay, let me see what it looks like in the video. Oh yeah, I can deal with that. I can deal with that. There's some things, and I get it, it's horseshit for me, who's trying to teach you how to oil paint, to come up with stuff that's vague. But certain things, a lot of things, it's how you feel about it. It's how it looks to you. Does it feel right to you? Does it look right to you? Okay, I like the mountain looking like this. You may not. You may like it when it was a lot thicker with the highlights. You may like it when it's got even less than that or not as high. The water, you may like it a little thicker. You may like it a little thinner, less. I don't know. I can teach you kind of basics and like perspective and how I do it. But the ultimate final product is still, does it appeal to you? That's the biggest thing. If you like it, someone else is going to like it. And then you got something to build off of. I apologize for not being able to give you exacts and everything else, but that's the best I can do. Okay, the next best I can do is put more Viridian on my palette because I'm just about out. And I got a ton of pine trees to put in here. Here we go. Throw that paint tube down. Okay, now I was going to use this, and I told you I would, and I'm going to. I'm going to get some more blue. I'll make some shadows here. This is not necessary. Again, this is me. I like the way the shadow plays and everything else and stuff. When I first learned how to do light and dark, you'd swear I was like a 5-year-old before Christmas. I was so excited because it just made so many things appear real because of the way it looked. You know, when you can get the play on the light and dark correct, it just brings out so much realism in your work. And even if you don't want realism, you know, like me, I consider myself like a semi-realistic painter. I don't consider myself a realist painter. Because I do a lot of palette knife, abstract things like that. Okay. I'm gonna wipe my brush off and just get this down where I need it to be. Okay, now I'm going to take the palette knife one more time, a little one. I'm just going to go right over this. The reason I want to do this is it had too much of a hard edge. where, see, the shadow can't overlap the highlight as much as the highlight should overlap the shadow, in my opinion. So that's why I just wanted to put that over there. I didn't like the way these two met here, so I just added a little bit of highlight to get it over the hump, as they say. Okay, I still haven't figured out what's going on with the waterfall, and at this point in time, we might not have one. I got the land in, okay, we're not gonna have a waterfall. It's just gonna be peaceful. I got this pretty thin, pretty smooth. I'm gonna take my 2-inch brush and smooth it out even more. Excuse me, before I dirty it up with the pine colors. Ooh, that's a big bristle that came out. Did I get it? There it is. Damn, this one's stubborn. There it is. Okay. There we go. Yeah, I'm not going to do a waterfall. I was going to, and it's not going to work. Okay, so what I am going to do, you see me doing this a bunch of times. You're going to see me doing a bunch more. Viridian, Payne's Gray, Pine Trees. Here we go. Nice thick paint. Nice thick paint. And this is one more time. Where you see them. Now, one of the things you want to do is not mess up all your nice little pre-mountain ledges and all this other stuff. It looks good, so you want to have some of it there. You want to keep, you don't want to cover it all. You know, you take your time to get the stuff in. Let's see here. And you want it to look good. But you don't want it to, I don't know. It's hard to explain. It's hard to explain. Now I'm taking the thickness now of the mountain itself. And I'm putting these pine trees, I'm just making the pine tree shapes. And when I hit it with the Cad Yellow Light, they'll come out real nice. And now I'm going to do the front, just a little bit. I'm not going to go up, over, and cover all the rocks everywhere. There we go. There we go. That's looking pretty good, actually. But I can tell right now we're one I don't like not having. There we go. Okay, now, man, I hope Raphael's okay. He hasn't said a damn word about the painting, has he? It's not like him to be that good of a boy while I'm painting. Usually likes to annoy the hell out of me. I want to get back our little land there. It's not a pasture, just a little strip of land. There we go. Okay. Now, the fun part, brings everything into life. Add the Cad Yellow Light. See, one of the things that I'm going to do, that I started doing that I really like, is using the palette knife to finish these off. And I'll show you what I mean. Well, you've seen it, but you're going to see it again. And I love the look that I get with the knife. And I find myself using it more and more. Like I said, I'm a semi-realist painter. Probably in real life too, I'm a semi-realist. I don't always believe everything that I see, listen to, or hear. So it's like, okay, where is the fullest shit meter today? Depending on what I'm watching, that meter can be very high or not so much. But anyways, I like doing things my way. And then I don't know if that's gonna hit some people the wrong way, but when I learned how to paint, I wanted somebody to show me the basics. And then as far as me being an artist, that's going to be up to me. Well, I can give you the same advice that I gave myself. Learn from other people, but paint the way you want to paint. Learn the strokes, learn the techniques, learn the little things that make things special that you like. Learn the color mixing, learn whatever you want to learn, and then make it all yourself. Make it yours. Don't copy somebody. I love Norman Rockwell. I do not want to copy Norman Rockwell. I love his work. Don't want to copy him. I want mine to be mine. I don't know if I told you this story or not. Not this past summer, 2024, but in 2023, my wife and I are at a show. We're always at shows in the spring, summer, and fall. Whether we're part of the show or we're just patrons, we always go to them. And a lot of times we'll go to see if it's something we want to be a part of in the future. But anyways, we go to this one show, and I'm going up to this one food truck that the only thing they do is like these different flavors of lemonades, and they're like big glasses of lemonades, really good. They like the lemon that they squeeze right there. They put it, it's delicious. Anyways, I go up to this one, and I ask for 2 lemonades, one for me and one for my wife. And this one woman's looking at me, and I'm like, yeah. And she says, hey, wait a minute. Were you in so-and-so show? And I said, yeah. She said, oh, wait a minute. You're the waterfall guy. I tell you what, my head exploded. I was like, really? Somebody recognized me? That's just totally cool. Point of the story is, even though it's a cheesy story, the point is, be known for you, not copying somebody else. You know, a lot of people don't know a lot of old-time artists and stuff. You know, they know basically Bob Ross and Thomas Kincaid, and that's for the most part it. So there's some people that, you know, look at my opinion and go, oh, Mr. Bob Ross. And it's like, I do nothing like Bob Ross does, although I do like all of his videos. He was a very soothing, and he did help. I'm not going to take anything against him. I don't paint his way. I'm not a big fan of that. But I loved his approach. I loved his attitude. And I loved the way he did stuff. You know, he was just left us too soon. But I will always have a soft spot in my heart for Bob Ross. However, I don't paint like the man. And there's nothing wrong with that. I paint like me. Now, it took me a while to figure out what the hell me was. Because when I started painting, and this is what if you're a beginner, this is one of the things you're going to struggle with, like I did. You are going to have, when you decide you want to be an artist, whether it's professional or just as an amateur hobby, you're going to have this preconceived notion in your head of what it is you want to paint and how you want to paint it. And let me tell you, my friends, once in a while, that's real. The rest of the time, it isn't. I tell people that are beginners, anybody that wants to listen, you see a lot of videos on YouTube that talk about find your style, find your style. Oh, until you find your style, you're not an artist and all this other shit. I got news for you, my friends. You don't find your style. Your style finds you. And I mean that in the most sincerity. I had a distinct way that I thought I wanted to paint and what my stuff would look like. I had a distinct idea of what I wanted to paint and how I was going to. I had all the answers when I first started learning how to paint many years ago. And do you know how many of those answers came true? None. Zero. Zip. Nada. Not one damn thing. My style found me. And when I finally stopped being stubborn and just embraced it and said, you know something? This is fun and it's not looking too bad. Then everything just went crazy for me in a good way. Don't worry about finding your style. Your style, if you keep painting, your style will I guarantee you, find you. You don't have to worry about it. Now, remember how we're doing this, okay? Now, remember the way we used to do it, because I've already changed while we're doing videos. A couple months ago, I took that 1.5 inch brush and I laid in the darks just like I did. Then I laid in the lights just like we did. But I would take that or the fan brush and kind of together to blend it so it's not just the yellow in your face. I started using the palette knife because I like the shape. I get the nice pine shape. And it's just a very pleasing shape to me. And that's why I started using the palette knife. I did it as an experiment during one of the videos with you. And I liked it so much, I said, you know, I'm going to keep this. And that's what happened. So that's what I'm saying. Just forget the preconceived notions when it comes to art. The only thing you should decide is when you're going to paint, as often as you can, what kind of paint you want to use. Watercolor, gouache, oils, acrylics. You can decide your color palette. You know, my colors are pretty much representational of me and what you want to paint. How it goes about it and the style and everything else, don't even worry about it. Let it go. It'll happen. It will happen. I know I'm doing a little preaching today and I apologize, but I don't want you to get wrapped up in the same bullshit I got wrapped up in for years listening to find your style. Until you find your style, you're not an artist. And without your style, nobody's gonna... Oh, shut up. Bunch of bullshit. Your style finds you. You paint, you paint, you paint. And before you know it, one day you're gonna wake up and go, damn, I guess that's what I'm supposed to be doing. Yes, I'm doing this horizontally now to make grass. Vertically for pine trees, horizontally for grass. Same knife. Oh my God, I'm a genius. Look out. My bird finally said something. Well, my wife's bird, not mine. I told her, until you show me the DNA report, I am not claiming his ass. Not happening. Okay, I like that. Oh, what do you want? I'm painting, buddy. I already cleaned your water. Okay, I'm screaming at a bird. It has no idea what I'm saying. Alrighty, there we go. Now I'm just gonna, there we go. Here we go. Ooh, I am liking that. Okay, so the next thing I'm gonna do, take my big palette knife, and, well, I knew I'd jinx it. I said he was being so good for so long. Now, he won't shut up. I'm just going to put in some water lines. There we go. Good enough. Wipe off my brush, my knife. Okay, excuse me. Now I'm going to take the same brush I've been using. And I'm going to, remember, just like the clouds, this is too thick. It doesn't look right. But I wanted to paint down, so now I'm going to diffuse it so it does look right. Very gently, very gently. Very gently. I don't usually do it, but I'm going to quote Bob Ross. 3 hairs and some air. Gently. Gently. There we go. Now that looks like I want. It's amazing how that works. Pure magic, isn't it? Okay, so I need some more yellow. What else is new? Yellow, because I'm a landscape artist, obviously, I go through a lot. And I would be willing to bet I go through more yellow than any other color, and that includes white. Because I use yellow for everything. Highlights on trees, foliage, grasses. Everything I can think of. I love the color yellow. Okay, now. We're good. Water up. So now let's work on the foreground. By the way, this is a regular stretch canvas, but I had an idea. Remember how me being klutzy, and when I was doing the bottom, I'd rest it on the ridge of my easel, and once in a while it'd fall and not? I thought to myself, wait a minute. Put some Velcro on the back of my stretch canvas like I do the wood panels, and put it on the same thing here, and now, voila, we have it. Now that's good. Okay, so in the meantime, we're going to take some Payne's Gray and brown and Viridian and just get rid of those colors now. Just going to go up. That's what's going to hold our flowers. Our flowers. And once we get those, I'll put in the flowers in a bit. Not right yet. They're going to be red. I love Alizarin Crimson flowers. There we go. Okay. Might be orange too. I don't know. We'll see. One of the things I started doing a lot of, I still paint flowers with a brush, but I paint more flowers with a knife. Like I told you a little bit earlier in this video, I've been using a knife more and more. Now, I don't see a time in my future, I'm not ruling it out, where I'm going to go to and just be a palette knife painter only in oils. I don't see that. Because there's too many things that I like smooth. Like this, I'd never be able to get the water like that with the palette knife. The clouds in the sky, I wouldn't be able to get certain things. But I do see a chance where my work might evolve into 50-50, palette knife and brush. I mean, I know I'm not there yet, but I'm probably, I don't know, 35% knife, so we shall see. I know it's a lot of fun. I love the texture. People that watch, that go to my shows and stuff, that look at my paintings up close like the texture. A lot of them, you know, go like this to feel the texture and everything else, so I seal them before I go to shows and stuff. So it's kind of cool like that. Okay, so the next thing I'm going to do, I'm just going to put in grass. Now, I'm using the straight Cadmium Yellow Light Hue, but because we're wet underneath, I'm blending it in just by doing a lot of taps. Tap, tap till you can't tap no more. And I'm going to have some lights, some darks, some mediums, all over the place. And that's what you want. You don't want it all the same color. You look at my trees. There's probably about 5 or 6 different shades of something. You don't want the same color by itself everywhere. You just, it's boring. Got to have light and dark play off each other. There we go. And I'm not done with the ground either. I'm going to add some red and everything else in there in a little bit. But for the moment, take the palette knife, and I'm going to make the flowers my wife hates. And I'm just going to tap them in. That's all I'm doing. And when you see I went too thick right here, I just take more of it off. Just take some more off of there and put it in other places. I'm basically letting the canvas take what it wants. I'm going to do a little bit of a mixture with this one now. Usually I go straight yellow in and put this beautiful orange. I'm going to do some white too. I'm going to do some white. Because the white looks really good with a little bit more red over it. Go. Now I'll hit yellow. It's too much. I'm gonna go with a little bit more red on there. That'll come. There, that's what I'm looking for. And I keep, when I step away, I just wipe my brush off. Wipe my palette knife off. There we go. That's the color I was looking for. Now I want to mix it throughout. Just some straight red. My Alizarin Crimson, which I do love. That was too thick. There we go. That's not too bad at all. Looks like some really nice wildflowers. Okay, so last thing I'm going to do, take one of my littler knives, not a big one, just a little one. I'm going to put some red in here. And you saw how I tapped in stuff earlier. Okay, so that's my base. I'm going to put in some red, and then I'm going to go yellow over it. And this gives me a real nice, see, it's a landscape. It's not somebody's manicured lawn. So there's going to be colors and stuff all over the place. A little too much here. So I'm going to put some yellow in here now. And I want this to look like it's a slope, away from the water. Come on, more yellow. There we go. Okay, so last thing we're going to do, we're going to take a real big knife now, the one we used for this. We're going to And that, my friends, is a completed painting. I hope everybody enjoyed it. I hope you had a great weekend. The next 2 weekends, I do not have any shows. The last 2 weekends of November are my last 2 of the year until March. So I should be able to do my videos on the next 2 Sundays, just like normal. I hope everybody has a great work week and you stay safe. And I will talk to you later.